What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here, and we are starting a new campaign, a new adventure for all of us. It's going to be a little bit different than what we normally do. This is going to be a custom campaign that I have developed myself for the Alien RPG. Something that is very near and dear to my heart, as well as a few of our players. I enjoy the setting, and I've always wanted to run a game in it, and now is the perfect time. So hopefully all of you out there in the ether watching this, hopefully you enjoy, and feel free to ask questions, leave comments, all the things, and we're just going to get into this. So, oh yeah, I haven't even told you guys the name. So this is going to be called, the name of the campaign I settled on was the Echo of Titans. Echoes of Titans, excuse me. All right. So we are beginning. All of you, through various means, have found yourselves within the system, a newly founded system, founded at least recently by the United Americas. In that, around 10 years prior, the UPP, or Union of Progressive People, as we all know them, had settled and taken control of a solar system on the edge of the frontier, known as the Elysium Drift. Here, there were several habitable planets that they were doing things on, and have recently come to pass, as it appears that the party has pulled out of the Elysium Drift and have, through the recent ceasefire after the colony wars, have recently let go of their rights to the star system. And the UA picked them up, reclaiming the system for their own, and seeing this as a possible foothold as to the greater mission, being the up-and-coming star mission that all of you would have heard of, known as the Great Mother Mission. A possible trek past the frontier, past the 20 parsec limit, to find long-lost colonies and what lies beyond. The year is 2180. You will have spent several months in cryo, and despite all of that, the nature of space travel, especially this far out, you will have spent months and possibly the total of a year, maybe 2 years, getting from wherever you previously were to this star system. Space travel is far, and despite access to FTL drives, going into cryo for long months at a time is still a necessary part of life in this setting. The old UPP space station that was the center hub for communications within the star system is the first waypoint that you made a touchstone at in the Elysium Drift. It has been renamed, as the previous name was written in Cerulean and unreadable by most of you, or most people settling this, and they decided to just call it the Titan's Rest. From there, from Titan's Rest, the system was being repaired. You docked briefly and were shuttled on to your employer's main vessel, known as the Apex Horizon. Property of Apex Raw Materials, the somewhat colonization company that has taken up residence as a private contractor under the guise of the overall goodwill of what is left of Wayland-Yutani's relationship with the Colonial Marines, and therefore the UA. Apex Raw Materials specializes in processing and refining raw materials, mostly minerals, converted and prepped for market, for sale. And this could be anything from petroleum products to raw metals, raw alloys, natural gases, all of the raw materials that can be used for any kind of refining and processing into fuel, into goods, into anything. They specialize in harvesting and shipment, and a little bit of refinement as well. Currently, you guys would all know that they are under litigation to a possible heavy fuel contamination in one of their not so recent batches of product that resulted in the disappearance of several freighters under the umbrella of Weyland-Yutani, mostly out on the frontier of space. So they are currently under litigation and scrutiny and looking to keep as squeaky clean as possible, possibly taking this rather abysmal job out in the distant sector of the frontier in a very dangerous section of space. If you look at the star system, it is littered with asteroid belts, numerous planets, and a very large star, making not only travel but communication difficult as well. Numerous opportunities for bad things to happen. But they've won the rights for this, lowest bid, as is always the case with the government standard in the UA. And they are establishing a colony that they're referring to as Aetheria within the southeastern hemisphere of the planet designated ED-223, which has also been nicknamed Eos. This hemisphere was specifically picked because of the remnants of a visible UPP failed colony mining endeavor that you could see from scans that were shown from distant orbit. With that in mind, the Horizon took off. You have spent a total of 3 to 4 weeks in hypersleep from the space station to the planet. You've already made planetfall at this point. The Horizon itself doubles as a initial colony kind of setup with it resembles a train. It is a specific model of spaceship known as a Larkmont model ELTB-22C Borrowdale Class R modular colonial transfer vehicle. Essentially, each module of the ship, once landed, can be detached and set up, taken apart, set up, connected in any ways that might be necessary. The specific one has been tailored for the needs of Apex and what they think they'll need on this mission. You guys are the initial setup team with the Horizon, and if everything goes well, they'll be shuttling colonists from Titan's Rest to what you guys are starting to develop here. The initial setup, you had to land slightly outside of the failed UPP remnant and have begun shuttling everything in. At this point, you will have been 3 days on planet. All of you will have gotten over your possible sickness from longer hypersleep periods. And I'm going to give you guys a description real quick of what you are walking into. So, before everything was set up, the abandoned UPP installation would have loomed ominously over the vast, steamy plains, a relic of a bygone era now shrouded in decay. Over a decade of neglect has taken its toll, leaving twisted metal and crumbling concrete structures that stand in stark contrast to the lush, overgrown vegetation that has begun to reclaim the land. The air is thick with humidity, creating a hazy atmosphere where the sun struggles to penetrate the dense mist, casting an eerie glow over the desolate landscape. The facility's exterior is marked by rusting signs bearing the UPP insignia, barely legible under layers of grime and creeping vines. Brown windows and gaping holes in the walls reveal dark interiors where the remnants of technology and equipment lay scattered, swallowed by dust and silence. The once bustling corridors now echoes, only with the sound of dripping water and the occasional rustle of wildlife venturing too close. Surrounding the installation, the plains stretch endlessly, dotted with patches of wildflowers and blue and pink grass. There are a series of low mountains in the distance, along with a rather sizable canyon that seems important because there is a trail of pylons moving from the canyon all the way to the settlement, where you have had to restring over the past day or two wires that were long rotted and corroded away, linking something within the canyon to the settlement itself. You will know that within the canyon there is a installation. It was thought to be the possible mining actual grounds, and there appears to be some kind of generator or some kind of way to create electricity coming from it. Not exactly sure how it works at first, but it was discovered after the second day that it appears to be some kind of hydroelectric plant of some kind within the canyon, despite there being no visible water from the surface. With that in mind, your current objective on this third day is to figure out how to reestablish communications and get electricity moving from, or get the power plant up and running and get electricity to the settlement itself, instead of having to rely on the portable generators that you all brought with you and have set up to keep the colony running. So you've been here for 2 days. So this is your third day waking up. One thing you would have noticed is that the days on this world are very strange and bizarre indeed. Due to the rotation and speed, the gravity appears to be normal Earth gravity. However, there appears to be an ebb and flow of time, as if the days move faster on this world. It appears that around every 5 hours, a day for this world is rotated through. You still are more than likely operating on your normal 24-hour schedule that the human body has been programmed to over millennia. And for all intents and purposes, it appears that it doesn't really get dark. Maybe it's the time of year you are here, but essentially what happens is you have around 2.5 hours of bright sunlight, and then you have 2.5 hours of very dim light, almost like twilight. It doesn't ever completely go dark, as of yet. Maybe this is a similar situation to what happens in the far northern atmosphere of our planet that we live on, where perhaps later months down the way you'll have nothing but darkness, but who knows? As of right now, this is your current situation. Out of the four of you, because we're going to start building our company here and starting to see the actual settlement, how everything's set up. Which one of you wakes up the earliest?
I feel like the security guy would wake up first.
Okay. Already making coffee. What are you guys talking about?
Mr. Sweetman?
Yeah.
I feel like it's good for Mr. Sweetman to be up. Why don't you describe Mr. Sweetman to us?
Oh, he's very grizzled, wouldn't keep a clean shaven face unless it was required. And even then, he'd probably push regs a little farther than could be expected. He's late 40s probably, average height, 5'10", somewhere in there. Fit, but not, bulk. Definitely could chase down a suspect if needed. And carries a shotgun as his firearm for the moment. Isn't necessarily a company man, but has to be a part of the company. He's more dedicated to the moral code of law and order than the
Hmm.
law and order itself.
Yes.
Um, but you know, there's a particular twitch in one of his eyes. Could be artificial, could be synthetic, could have consequences. We don't know.
um, do you wear any of your old Colonial Marshal gear?
I only wear anything if I'm wearing anything marked by the company itself, it's because they made me.
Okay.
So as is
There has
in
been.
my portrait hat, I have to wear that hat.
Okay.
Um, that's probably about all because I'd still wear the majority of my original Marshall uniform,
No,
but
that's fair.
anything that I couldn't get away with, I would put on.
Okay.
Not I don't
Do
want to
you,
make too much of a target of myself,
well, do you, so to put this also in perspective, there's only
Yeah.
around let me count them real quick. I should have already known this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are only 12 other
All
colonists
suspects.
on this mission, including and then you guys as well. So you're looking at
About 15,
about 16,
16,
about
all
16 people
suspects, including myself.
and a synthetic on this mission.
Oh, definitely suspect.
So there's not a ton of people here. This is very bare bones, scraping things together crew as of right now. So do you wear your armor, Mr. Sweetman? Do you wear your vest and everything? Do you
Oh
wake up,
yeah, I
do you
mean,
put it
I'm
on,
always
or do you?
always on duty. As soon
Okay.
as I got out of cryo, I'm gonna get decked out for. I gotta protect these
Okay.
colonists, even if they're all suspects.
Do you? So let me ask you this then, Mr. Sweetman. Do you sleep in the very retrofitted bunks that have been reestablished, or do you sleep on the horizon itself in the kind of like snap pods that exist on the ship? Those are your two options right now.
I would be somewhat separate from the rest of the folk.
Okay,
Wouldn't want to get too fraternist with them.
of course.
Uh, kind of keep your distance. Even if I
Okay.
care for a couple of them, they wouldn't know it.
Then perhaps you've made a cot for yourself in what appears to have been some kind of archaic looking brig of some kind. It
Yeah, no
almost
one
looks
else would want to
like a
sleep
small
there,
jail.
mostly. Yeah.
There are jail cells. There are like cells, remnants of UPP occupation. Strange kind of iconography that you've had to tear down to make the space your own. Where you were able to get a cot from the ship and kind of set up down here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you wake up. Is Mr. Sweetman a coffee drinker? Does he smoke a cigarette every morning? What does he do?
He's going to have coffee. He's a former smoker, so he's going to
Okay.
have a nervous habit of chewing on a toothpick or,
All right.
maybe biting his fingers a little too much. But he's definitely going to have some coffee, and probably always coffee.
All right. Sweetman,
Maybe
you
a
walk
little
out.
too caffeinated.
Well, coffee is one of the few things that is actually fairly good on this mission. You can't say
Yeah.
much for the food, Mr. Sweetman. It's pretty much space rations as we
Yeah.
all know and love. But the coffee is actually top quality. It's one of the few things
You know what the most important part of an MRE is the E. Eat.
to eat. Exactly. And as you made a quick stop by the kind of cobbled together mess, snagging a coffee fairly early, you are surprised to see that there's already a fresh pot made, and it looks like it's been a sizable amount of it's been drank, and it appears that a few others have gotten out before you. And as you leave the mess, you hear the thrums of one of the two tractors that were brought on mission, and you actually see it moving in the distance towards the canyon. It appears that some people are already starting to work even before the day has begun. As you kind of
That's,
contemplate,
a little
kind of rest out
suspicious,
there,
actually.
watching, you're suspicious of everybody apparently. People starting to get work, enjoying your coffee. we will slide over to. Let's slide over to Mr. Graves, as I believe Mr. Graves would probably be an early riser as well, being a colonial marine.
Drake Graves. He's about 6'2". He's a military man. He's got kind of broad shoulders, thick arms, kind of corded muscle, he's got kind of like weathered, like deep bronzy skin. Kind of like, from like sun and like harsh environments kind of changed the texture of his skin. His eyes are kind of like a grayish steel like color. He's got kind of a cold look. He's got a jagged scar that runs from his left cheekbone to the edge of his jaw. And it's a little bit paler and darker than the rest of his skin. He's got dark brown hair. It's cropped military style.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like kind of some grays that are kind of forming on his temples. He's about 30, mid-30s, 34, 35. He's got permanent stubble on his jawline. He looks kind of tired a lot, kind of exhausted.
Okay.
His most striking feature, though, is probably his right arm. It is kind of ending at his shoulder. Is like this kind of matte black plated prosthetic limb.
Indeed.
It's basically just all form over function. So it's just kind of matte black, heavy plating, thick cables, visible kind of at the elbow. And you can see scar tissue, like if you were to take off his shirt, you can see scar tissue across his shoulder, and it looks like it's been cauterized scar. He's always wearing his combat armor, pretty much, even his downtime.
Well, always wearing. So we're both of you guys just relaxing in your armor.
Well, he's always. That's what I always had. He's always in his combat armor for the most part.
First thing in the morning, immediately he puts on his armor.
He puts on his armor. He's ready to go.
He doesn't go have a workout. Eat.
He may
works out in his armor. What are you missing here?
If he's like doing like maybe if he's doing a workout, but like he's like if he's like about to go do something like for his day, like part of his job, he's armored up.
This is first thing in the morning. Technically, work hasn't started yet. What would he be doing?
Okay, if he's like going to chow and he's not doing anything, then he may not have his.
Is he a workout then chow guy, or is he a?
He likes to work out on an empty stomach.
Okay, well we can start there then. I've got the perfect place for it. In the only place that a kind of makeshift gym has been somewhat set up, as you also are an early riser, Mr. Graves. Mm-hmm. What appears to be a kind of like a what's the word? It's kind of like a
gym.
No, it's not.
Are you looking for the word gym? Workout area?
I'm not looking for the word gym. Hold, please. It's kind of like a garage, like a garage setup.
Okay.
Specifically for maintenance on the two Daihatsu tractors, as well as the large kind of sled area.
A motor pool?
Yeah, kind of like a motor pool. There we go. And it was actually a section of the ship that was taken down and actually moved to the actual settlement. And this is supposed to be kind of an actual area for maintenance and things like that. But it also has chains and bars and things that can be used for calisthenic exercises. Somebody possibly shirtless, just getting sweaty, lifting in there. As we see Mr. Graves just pumping one out. And that would lead us into...
The only other thing I will say.
Yes.
One more thing. As he's walking into the gym, or you hear him working out in the gym, you might hear a slight jingle because he wears 6 dog tags around his neck.
6 dog tags.
Yep.
Okay.
6 dog tags. That's
so
it.
As we zoom into the motor pool, finding Mr. Graves there, we see that somebody else is walking in. An individual that you would know as Victor Delgado. He would be considered kind of an engineer. He's kind of an all-purpose man, mostly a mechanic. He is known in the field as Brick, seasoned engineer working for the UA or not necessarily the UA, but under the guise of the UA for now, on the harsh and unpredictable terrain of Eos. In his early 40s, Victor has a very sturdy figure, standing just at 6 feet tall. Very solid, muscular build that reflects his hands-on approach to engineering.
Does Drake find him attractive?
Maybe he does. He has deep-set brown eyes that carry a blend of determination and intelligence, often hidden behind a pair of rugged safety goggles when he's in the thick of repairs or installations. Short, cropped black hair flecked with gray. Victor's appearance speaks of years of experience in the field. His work attire is typically a well-worn jumpsuit, adorned with patches of various missions and projects that he's been on over the years, showcasing his extensive background in mechanical and structural engineering. He has a tool belt that hangs around his waist, always stocked with a variety of tools and gadgets that he uses to tackle any challenge that comes his way. As he moves into the kind of just open bay door, because it's been opened by you to let somewhat of a breeze come into the very humid environment that you guys are in. Kind of just looks towards you, shakes his head. It's too fucking early for that, man. And he walks over to one of the tractors and begins to work on it. So, what's on the agenda today, Graves?
Trying to get that electric plant working. I think the higher ups say that could help us with the power issues we're having.
Oh yeah? How are you going to help with that?
Very good question. I can move things back and forth.
Just busting your balls, Marine. Relax. Hey, when you're done, making yourself look pretty, maybe you can come over here and give me a hand.
The Graves will drop down and walk over there.
All right. It looks like... okay. How about hand me that over there? He points towards like a workbench with a few tools on it.
Mm-hmm. I'll go over there. Grab him
over there.
Yes, for
you start kind of ferreting various things for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I feel like this is gonna be a long day. If I can't get this up and running, we've only got one tractor moving. Maybe, all right. Maybe if we try this. Come on, old girl. Come on. I've got to work on Susie after this. This is... Lucille's giving me trouble. Raquel's the only thing working.
Is he the engineer, you said?
He's going to be considered your chief engineer on staff.
Chief engineer, okay.
He's basically a mechanic. Essentially, but he's also in charge of helping make sure all the prefab buildings come together. He's the one mostly running wiring, electric work,
HVAC, all that stuff.
He's doing all the things to try to get it work. All the heavy duty machinery stuff is in his hands. He has a
direct employee, or is he a freelance contractor?
He is a direct employee of Apex.
Okay.
And he does have several we'll call them roughnecks under his leadership that help him with his normal tasks. But he is a man of work in the field, and he's first to work most days and last to leave. But as Drake begins to help our man with his Mr. Delgado with his stuff, we will push away as we find the next part of our crew, a Mr. Aleutian. If you would care to describe yourself, sir.
Hi, everybody. It's Chris Galactic playing everybody's favorite scientist, Aleutian Variant. Sorry, I miss Wolfram. Yeah, so I actually believe that I don't sleep much, so I probably would have been the last to get in the freezers. Also, being kind of a contact guy, I might have set mine to kind of head me up first, maybe 35 minutes or so before anybody else, so I could get dressed and kind of get out of there.
Okay.
I'm a man who average man, 5'10", about 160, 44, wear glasses, have kind of longish, slightly unkempt salt and pepper hair, blue eyes, a little bit of stubble, look a lot like me. A little bit something different with my eyes, not like an arm, almost as if maybe there's something internal. Maybe I'm carrying around something that if you truly gaze at those eyes, you can see it, but maybe we'll find out. Who knows? Not even I know. The player doesn't know.
Perhaps a burden of some kind.
As I get up, I kind of grab my stuff. I look around. I do see the spots you were talking about, and I go and I do a little exercise. I trying to keep the machine in shape.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Aleutian,
focused, not a bodybuilder, but I want to keep shape. A little yoga. Very focused on health. Look around a little. Just make sure I am the only one up. I have these headaches sometimes, so it's like I just reach in one of my pockets. I'm wearing a kind of like a coverall, not a flight suit, but similar to a flight suit. A lot of pockets. It's more of a kind of a utility coverall, bulging with pockets. Pockets are bulging. I'm gonna reach in one here. I call this my morning breakfast pocket here, and I'm gonna grab out a little, just a little something to. I feel better now. I just get that hangover from the sleep chamber off, and
takes the edge off.
Alert.
Right?
Yeah.
Just a little
around
in the morning.
I mean, I'm focused on my health. Just want to make sure I'm peak optimum health right now, and then I'll gonna directly head towards the control room and start to see, kind of go through the papers, notice the state it's in. Maybe trying to get the command center in order so we can get to work and get more than one fucking tractor out on the field.
Speaking of the command center, that is where you're primarily going to be doing most of your work, at least early on in this expedition. Specifically, the command center it would have been almost like some kind of communications building from when the UPP owned it. There's a very large dish on the outside of this building that is not working. You have been trying to rely on the actual Horizon ship that you came on. That's what you're relying on right now.
Grounded ship is not an effective way to do that.
It's not good. You need to figure out how to get this dish working, and you're doing the best you can, but power has been so intermittent, and the generators are having a hard time keeping everything stable. And so, as you walk into the command center, you see you've taken apart some of the electronics, and you've done the best you can putting it back together, trying to get this working. While you're in there, kind of poking around, Aleutian, you hear someone else kind of walk in. You sit up and look behind you as a woman walks in. And you would know her as Lila Ramirez. She is the chief foreman for the colony. She is in her early 30s. Lila stands at an athletic 5'7", lean build, a testament to her years of navigating treacherous environments and rugged terrain.
Get that AVAC working.
She has striking dark hair, often pulled back into a practical braid, and sharp green eyes that seem to miss nothing. Known for her quick wit and sense of humor, Lila is also fiercely loyal to her crew, often putting their safety above her own. She has a reputation for being resourceful and dependable, traits that make her a natural leader, even if she prefers to remain in the background. Outside of her work, Lila enjoys studying the flora and fauna of Eos, often seeking to understand some of the more uncharted elements of colonial life. But you see her walk in, and she's actually holding a wildflower, and she kind of puts it in a pot on her own desk. You're here early.
I like to get started. We got a lot of work to do. I mean, can't get power here. Can't get the HVAC over there. Cannot really talk to the ship half the time. I'd rather just get to work.
Yeah.
Once we get started, I mean, we can get to the real job.
Good. Well, doing the best you can. I understand. I've actually just had a meeting with some of our crews, and I've actually got a crew already out going to the generator trying to get us stable power.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I know that's what you need. I've sent a crew out already, and hopefully we'll know soon what's going on. Where are you with the PDD transmitters?
Well, I have this installed, but are you talking about the?
So
Okay.
all of you.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the data transfer that we have implanted into us?
All of you would have had a PDT chip implanted into your arm, part of being on mission. It is a basic, as far as you know, it's a basic transmitter that transmits vitals and a location at all times. Basic vitals like pulse, blood pressure, and your personal location. A PDT, personal data transmitter. It all comes to a central.
Question.
Yes.
My response would be, I haven't even thought about it this far. Let me pull that up here, and I will immediately see if I can pull it up on a terminal to check the efficiency and if any are not working.
You pull up you pull up the program for the terminal. As you're getting access, you hear as a man also walks into the command center, and as you look back, you see just a scowl looking at you as you are witnessing Finn Carter, who is, on paper, he's an accountant, but really he's a company man. And he is actually a liaison to the parent company that contracted all of you out from Titan's Rest. He is, in fact, a liaison for Wayland Yutani, the main push for this initiative. Mr. Carter is a meticulous accountant, currently working for Apex Raw Materials. In his late 20s, possesses an unassuming presence, standing at 5'10" with a lean frame. He has tousled brown hair and wears a pair of wire-rimmed glasses that accentuate his sharp blue eyes, which constantly scan spreadsheets and data for discrepancies. He is a graduate of a prestigious business school. Finn is a keen analytical mind and a talent for numbers that sets him apart in the corporate landscape. He thrives in the fast-paced environment of Apex, where he manages budgets, forecasts, and financial reports with precision. His nickname, mostly self-given, Ghost, stems from his ability to remain unseen, often working late hours in the office, ensuring everything runs smoothly without drawing attention to himself. Outside of work, some of you may have seen Finn reading and enjoying. He enjoys exploring the remote landscape of Eos somewhat, at least around the ship, when he has the chance, finding solace in nature away from the numbers and ledgers. He's also a fan of strategy games. Yes.
Does he do that on his own, or does he pull facility resources to take care of him in case he gets in trouble while he's on these?
So far, he's been doing hikes.
Vacations.
He's been doing kind of hikes. Usually early in the morning. He kind of just a little
if he
hike.
wants
Not
to see the numbers
heist.
high, I need to make sure we have the people here to make sure I can get the numbers high. So,
but as
he may be a ghost in one way or another.
Glad to see you're finally at work, Aleutian. I've been here for 2 hours already. And he steps past you and sits down at a desk. Begins logging into a terminal. I have already have the PDTs ready to go, madam. Thank you. That's great. Well, Lucian, this will give you time to just focus on the comms array, please.
Of course, anything you request. I give her a gleaming smile, by the way.
Thank you. Um, Mr. Carter. All right. Show me what I need to see. And Carter begins to open up a few different profiles and trying to get the PDT scans, which are not syncing properly. They're kind of going in and out. Probably has something to do with the communications array. So I'm going to need the first roll of the night from Mr. Illusion being a comtech check.
Oh
to see
man,
how see how we do on the comms
I've got
array.
I don't know. I've got the real dice. So you can't see.
Can't see them, but I know they're there.
Yeah. All right. So let me check. It's been about 4 years since I played this, but I have a wits of 5 and comtech of 3. So I believe that's going to be 8
dice. 8 dice. You're looking for 6s.
All right.
That answers my question.
I got a single 6. No, I got 2 6s.
2 6s.
So yeah, do we get a little extra on that? I know we passed it. So
you
maybe
do have
we
a succeed, and you get a.
Maybe we know where the fault is.
Well, you get a stunt. Is what any success over 1 is considered a stunt. For comtech, you can retain a +1 to a later roll for comtech.
Okay.
You can never need to make this check again to align the comms array. You can have the time to align it. You can gain new and unexpected information currently. There's also stuff where you can hide your tracks or you can just show off right now. That's also an
availability. So for this example, though, because Ghost and the Ghost here needs me to get it all up, and I'm going to give him a hard fucking time. I'm just telling you. We don't. Basically, the dish will always be aligned. That just make the dish will. So is that what the dish will be aligned?
What's saying is,
or just today?
What it's saying is, anytime it gets messed up, you won't have to make a roll to realign it. You have to still physically come do it, but you won't have to roll for it. You'll just be able to realign it.
So a +1 to any comm check later. Do this day period, or won't have to do it again. What was the other 2? New information.
New and unexpected information. You can have the time that you're currently doing it. Like, it's going to take you... It looks like it's probably going to take you about half a shift to get this aligned, which would be...
And Muzzlehead Marine is still in the gym. I got plenty of time to take care of it.
It's going to take you about 4 hours, basically, is what this is.
I'm curious if maybe I discover some unusual new information.
Okay.
I'm new to the facility. We're all kind of new here, so yeah. That's what I'd like to go for.
As you're logged in and you're getting cracking, you hear over your shoulder. You hear the gentleman known as Finn Carter whispering to himself as he's sending something over to Miss Ramirez's terminal. You hear him, the ghost is in the system, as he's mumbling to himself, and he begins to send something over. But as you're doing that, you kind of roll your eyes and continue working on your own endeavor. And you notice as you're opening up one of the alignment files for the comms array, that there is almost like a blip on the receiving end, as if you pick up traffic from somewhere else, planet side, that you guys have not heard from yet.
An unexpected signal from another part of the planet?
Yes. It just kind of like beeps for a moment, and it's nowhere near you. And as far as you know, there are no other missions going on. There shouldn't be any people here. Strange. Perhaps it was just a fluke. Perhaps it was a glitch in the system. You are working on... You've already removed the old Apollo program that was in place here, and you are installing... Well, it's not the newest model, but you're currently installing a Mother 6000 into this mainframe to get everything up and running, to get it running.
Does it seem like the information being bound was predicated by something Finn
Mr.
did,
Carter?
or is it something that maybe like, hey, it just by chance because I stumbled upon it?
You're not sure.
I just happen to be looking at the right. Okay, I will
just happen-
keep that information to myself at the moment.
Keep it to yourself? Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay.
All right. So, Illusion, it's going to take some time, but you're currently cracking away. That's when we hear something. Specifically, our marshal, Mr. Sweetman. You're outside enjoying your coffee.
Yeah.
You finish your cup, and you begin to hear the roar. It's almost like just high-pitched roar of a tractor, of one of the Daihotai Series 8x8 tractors. And it's distant, but you pick it up, being on the outside of this kind of installation. And you look out, and you look towards the canyon, and you see, just flying as fast as it can towards you, one of the tractor that obviously left early this morning.
Coming in a little hot.
Moving fast.
That's not normal.
No, not very normal indeed. There is a there is a wall around the settlement, concrete barrier. It's kind of messed up in a few places, and there is what appears to be a metal gate that opens in and out, that kind of slides up to allow people in. But
I don't have.
You're kind of at the gate right now. There actually is kind of like a security guard's nest. You have to climb like a little metal ladder. It gives you a good vantage point above everything.
I'm gonna scuttle up that real quick.
There's an old set of binoculars laying there, Sandy. You bring them up to your eyes, kind of look through.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if it looks like that tractor's under anyone's control. Someone's actually driving it, or if it might be,
someone is in fact driving it, and they're driving it insanely
with intent.
The terrain is while it's vast open plains, it's still the nature of the ground with the tractor. If you go too fast, it's really easy to slide, and with as loaded down as that tractor's supposed to be with equipment and materials, it could easily flip out of control. So whatever's going on,
through the gate,
they're trying to get back quickly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mr. Sweetman, the gate has been acting a little iffy every now and then, and you hear the hum of electricity coming from the generators, and then you don't hear the hum of electricity as everything just kind of goes real quiet.
That's not good.
And you know that the gate is not going to open without the manual override.
Well, so I'm gonna have to. Where's that override located? On the gate, reckon.
You go down
next to
the wall. There is a panel, and there's a manual override that you have to physically move.
Okay, what do you need from me on that?
That, my friends, is going to be a heavy machinery roll.
Yeah, it's probably involving strength, huh?
It does indeed.
Mm-hmm. Anything else I can add to that?
Your heavy machinery skill, if you have any points in it.
Yep.
I don't.
You have any points?
Don't. Just
so
straight
it's
up
just
close
strength.
Combat. You know?
It's just strength. You can. It's not like the tractor's going to be here immediately. You could call for help if you don't think like you're up for the task.
I'm going to give it a shot first.
Okay.
Man of action that I am.
Go ahead and give me
so if that's 4. I've got a strength,
Mr. Sweetman.
So that's four dice.
4 dice. Roll 4 dice. You're looking for 6s.
Oh wait, let's get them right. Hold on. I rolled 1 6.
You got it. Okay. With a success, Sweetman moves over to the gate, and there's an old-fashioned crank.
Yeah.
Just a manual crank set into this, and from personal experience with lots of heavy machinery, this is not going to to be easy by any means.
This is my workout this morning.
You're having to give it all you got. You're just every single turn, this thing moves like an inch, and it needs to clear upwards of like 12 feet So you're here just cranking it out as best you can with a success. And
With an insane, like an undue level of confidence that I'm going to succeed because obviously I'm going to succeed.
So as this happens, the
Even this
electricity
gate is suspect.
the electricity to just goes out. Almost as if all of the reactors or all of the generators kind of overloaded, which has happened numerous times already. So Aleutian, you lose power.
I grumble under my breath, some fucking ghost. Goddamn. Something.
But you lose power of the command center mid array, mid calibration. Just everything goes black. You hear Ramirez curse, "Fuck, not again." And she kind of gets up from her workstation. Drake, you would also hear the lights that were illuminating the inside of the motor pool flash out. The Delgado smacks his head because he kind of like startles him for a moment. He smacks his head on the underside of the tractors. Fuck! Kind of pulls himself out. What the... And it's at that moment that you hear everyone begins to hear the roar of the engine. Loud enough that it finally wakes up Miss Salvatore, who's a late sleeper, I've decided. And Miss Salvatore is in what is a makeshift infirmary that has been cobbled together from what was some kind of nurse's office 10 years ago that has just become destitute. You did have the auto dock rolled over to the infirmary, so you do have an auto dock at your disposal, plus basic medical supplies, and then whatever particular stuff you may have in your normal equipment. But Miss Salvatore, you wake up, you're in the only bed that has been put together. You kind of like, ah! As you hear the rumble and the pop of electricity as one of the lights kind of explodes in the corner of your room. What do you look like? Describe us.
Sure. Sana has chin-length straight black hair, tan skin, dark brown eyes, and a marine tattoo under her white coat. She wears a pair of dog tags, and she's about early 30s, average height and build. Pretty unassuming, basic, tidy. She keeps to herself for the most part, but she's polite. She's not like cold and standoffish. She tries to have a good rapport with people, considering she might need to help them later. They need to be able to come to her. I'm curious, with the synthetic, is that someone she would be interacting with a lot, or?
So, the synthetic in question is known as Marcus.
Marcus.
And Marcus actually works primarily with your pilot. He acts as a second for the piloted situation. He also is primarily a mover of cargo. So he is a grunt
like an
that
average
mostly
Joe.
just moves stuff. He's not an average Joe. Dear
Okay.
Lord.
Is he
he's
a
a
Marcus?
synthetic. His name is Marcus.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Is there anyone who can assist me, or am I just pretty much the medic?
You are it.
And that's it.
I'm it. You are, when it comes to anything medical, you are the expert in that field right now.
Okay.
While you maybe have sent here for possibly studying biology and other things like that, unofficially, your official task is any and all medical needs as necessary.
All right. Well, are there any windows or anything for me? Because I can hear this engine, and so it's woken me up.
You hear it, but there's nothing for you to see as of right now.
Is this abnormal? Am I used to hearing all this noise since we've been setting things
of course.
up? Okay, so it's just, that was loud.
Just
Nothing
completely normal.
concerning.
It's loud.
And I'll get a cup of coffee, and if I see anyone, I'll, of course, say my hellos and get back to work on whatever it is, looking up old files, trying to get everything operational, trying to clean things up.
All right. You begin to kind of move around the infirmary, trying to tidy things up for the day. You never know. Maybe somebody will actually come in here. Who knows? And then, of course, you're probably thinking about getting breakfast soon. But as we do that, Mr. Graves, after Delgado smacks his head, he says, "Fuck. Hey, do you think you could go get the generator back up and running?"
Never really my strong suit, but
There should be somebody in the fucking mess. It's right next to it. Just go get it up and running.
Drake will go head towards the generator.
Yeah, it's actually literally just right outside the mess. Unfortunately for all of you, the mess has a massive hole in one of the walls where it just kind of crumbled away. The concrete just kind of like crumbled away, and no one has patched it yet. So you just it's just open. So all of your food has had to be still pre-packaged. Nothing can really be prepped in the kitchen. What little bit of kitchen there is left in this, the mess hall. The mess hall's been low priority. But there are some people in there, Drake, as you kind of walk by. Specifically, two of the more roughneck kind of hands that you've seen wandering around the motor pool. Specifically, Lucas Caldwell, a man with tousled brown hair, heavily muscled frame, about 6'2", always has a cigar in his mouth, even right now, as he's eating his prefab eggs, which don't look like eggs. He's also sitting next to a Martin Gallagher, a heavyset man in his late 30s, about 5'10", always seems to be dirty and sweaty. He should have just woke up, but he's already sweating. He has like a towel always draped around his neck. But the two of them are kind of eating a meal. You hear them talking in the dark. A little bit of light spilling in from outside through the hole. But as you move over to the generator, you hear them kind of complaining a little bit. Fuck, I don't want to go out there again, man. Oh, come on, you. Says, It wasn't so bad last time. Yesterday, we we got all the wire replaced. I know it's kind of disturbing in there, but I gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta collect this paycheck. And then you hear Caldwell respond again. Man, this shit ain't right. It just ain't right. I could have swore someone or something is fucking down there watching us. There's something down there. I know there is. You're just being paranoid, man. This place has been empty for a decade. A decade. There's nothing going on. If O'Malley... Maybe let's get one of the security guys to go with us next time. Stop being a goddamn pussy. Get your shit together. Just finish your fucking breakfast. We're on next shift. All right. The man kind of wipes his head with his towel. And you hear all this as you move by to the generator, Graves.
Yes. I'll look over towards them if I could see them.
Yeah, straight in the hole. You just kind of look in.
Okay. Caldwell, Gallagher, generator's out.
We noticed.
Maybe you should come help me.
We're not on duty for like 6 hours, man.
Delgado said it needs to get done.
They stand up, push aside their trays, begin to walk outside. You see that the generator, fairly sizable, it's about 8 feet tall, tons of levers and switches on it. Where everything should be green, everything is now red. Mm-hmm. They move over. Fuck, man, it's gonna take at least 2 guys. I guess there's 2 of us. Wouldn't want to get fucking Marines' hands dirty, would we? So they set up at their separate their separate positions on the generator. And let's see how they do. I'm gonna roll for the old roughnecks here. Heavy machinery roll. It says they're helping each other. There is a +1 to the die. You hear him. Same time. God damn it, don't. Nothing. Fuck! One of them starts smacking it. Because they can't get it started, Graves.
Is there anything I can do to help? Or is it just like...
Do you say that?
Oh, I'll... Okay. What do you need me to do?
Caldwell looks towards you, the cigar still clenched in his teeth. Who the fuck over, Gallagher? You get in there. And you step in to where Gallagher was. Gallagher just begins fucking wiping his face again, just avidly pouring sweat at this point. Alright, pull the lever on 3. You put your hands on the lever, it's fucking dripping in sweat. It's disgusting. You grab it. 1, 2, 3. Why don't you give me a heavy machinery roll? +1.
Okay.
Or help from Mr. Caldwell.
You said +1?
Yes, you have +1.
Okay, so that means extra dice, right?
Yeah, +1 dice.
Okay.
Let's see what you got.
Got 1 6.
That's a success. That's a success. Is this just anything? Do you have points in this?
No. I've got
No?
5 strength, but
Okay. So you got a success.
+1 is 6.
So 1, 2, 3. It starts running again. You see a smile crack on Caldwell's face. All right. Gallagher looks a little sullen. Let's go finish our fucking breakfast, man. All right. Good job, Marine. And they leave you.
Thanks, fellas.
As the power gets restarted, Aleutian, the power comes back on. And when it does, a logo on your screen boots up, a WY. And you're in boot mode. And it's going to take you who knows how long to reboot the system, to get it running again. So you just shake your head. It looks like your other attendant in there with you, Mr. Carter, also looks a little pissed off. And Ramirez has already left. She was moving towards the generator area when the tractor comes speeding through the open gate that Mr. Sweetman managed to open before we even needed power to see how this was going to go. But with power running, the vehicle skids in the center of the settlement, and out from the driver's seat is Derek O'Malley. He is one of your wildcatters, one of your kind of scouts, explorers, if whatnot. He's a roughneck, kind of operating in this landscape.
I would be running over to that tractor.
Yeah, you're moving over to him. He's like in his mid-30s, a big man. He's about 6'2", broad, muscular, does hard labor, mining and drilling, in addition to like the scouting work. Very weathered skin, tan from exposure. Thick beard, tousled with dark hair, mostly red. And he looks like he is in full panic mode. Completely full panic mode right now. And you've not seen him like this, Sweetman. And at this point,
what was his name?
His name's Derek O'Malley.
O'Malley. I'd come up to him. O'Malley, what in the absolute fuck is up your ass right now?
Help me! We gotta get her to the doctor.
Get who to the what now?
Just get the fuck over here! As he kind of jumps down from the tractor. The tractor's around like 10, 12 feet tall. 8 gigantic wheels, so 4 wheels on each side. This thing's massive. He hops down, runs over to the passenger side. As soon as you move over to the passenger side, Sweetman, you see that there is like a bloody handprint across the side of it, smeared across the side.
Oh, that's not good. That's supposed to be on the inside, from what I understand.
He opens the door, um, revealing a woman that is just kind of lunched over, head on like the dash, and you would know this is Samantha Voss. She's also one of the kind of more workers, the kind of like roughneck kind of workers around here that you've taken with you. Very lean, in her late 20s, about 5'6". Takes physical fitness very seriously, prides herself on working the drill with the boys, that kind of person. Keeps her hair pulled back in a ponytail that currently is a mess, with thick, dark blood. She's just
O'Malley,
got...
what have you done to Sam?
Just help me get her the fucking doctor, man. I don't know what happened.
Oh, Santa's gonna have your ass. Salvatore ain't up for this shit right now.
He begins to pull her out. She's not very big, but it looks like he's just trying to be very, very careful with her, and he kind of like tries to hand her down to you, Sweetman.
I'm going to, as gently as firemanning someone would allow, I'm gonna take her and just haul ass into the
You grab her. Graves,
infirmary.
You would have heard this, Lucian. You guys would have heard the commotion outside. Your Ramirez is running over as you are moving towards the infirmary.
Make way, get Doc on the line.
Yeah, Salvatore, you would have heard the calls outside and hear the cries for medical attention being announced.
I will grab both of my kits, surgical and personal med, not knowing which I'm going to need, and I will meet them.
Okay, you kind of move to the doorway, and you see Sweetman kind of holding the
what's left of Samantha?
Woman, the injured woman, right. and he's moving towards you quickly.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the auto dock.
Okay.
What is the auto dock? I read over it briefly, and I was like, we probably won't have that. But
the auto dock is super basic.
The poor man's
basic medical aid. It's the poor man's med pod. It is not the best, but it can do simple things. Like, it's not performing surgery, but it can do simple things like, well, you're not sure yet. You guys still have to look at her and do.
I thought it was a Diags type equipment, like the auto doc could do a lot of diagnostics.
No, this is a basic auto doc.
I'm thinking it's a poly med pod.
You're thinking of the med pod.
My mistake. Okay,
yeah, the auto doc is basic first aid, and it can do a little bit more than basic. Like it can do
bones and sutures.
It can do stitches, and it can do like bone realignment. Like if you break a leg, it can reset a leg, but it doesn't do a lot else. It doesn't do major surgery or anything like that.
All right, then by looking at her, I guess then I know this isn't a job for Autodoc. I'm going to go ahead. Does she look like she's on death's door, or do I have to make a roll to determine if she's on death's door?
As she comes up to you, you grab a hold of her, or you motion to have her placed on the you probably have her at least placed on the Autodoc just in case you need it. You place her there, Sweetman.
Sandy would know enough about battlefield triage to start, helping dress.
Okay.
But I got no medical skills. I'm just
as you look at her, as you begin to do your assessment, Salvatore, something you've done plenty of times, calm, cool, collected. You see that all of the blood is coming from her head. As you kind of go over her, and it appears she has just a massive gash across the top of her head, and it is swelling and and actively bleeding still. A lot of blood.
Okay.
You're gonna have to do some medical stuff here. You're gonna have to give me a medical aid roll.
Okay. See, is this a medical aid just to determine what's happening?
This is going to be a medical aid to fix the situation.
She doesn't look like she's on death's door. I have a surgical kit I can use against death and a personal med kit I can use against wounds. And I'm trying to determine, is this a wound or death?
As far as you can tell, she doesn't look like she's immediately going to die.
Okay, then
If this
I'm
goes untreated, she has a high likelihood of.
got you. Then I'm gonna whip out my personal med kit and
Okay.
I will roll this. So
Yeah.
one,
So
two,
I think the med kit gives
three,
you a +1, I think.
5, 6, 7, 8, and then the med kit gives me 2.
Yeah, 2.
Oh,
There it is,
hang
2.
on. 1,
So
2.
so
All
10
right.
dice
Let's
for
see how
medical
it
aid roll.
goes. I don't know if this can handle it. Not a single success.
Not a single success. With that, you
Gonna have to post
can,
that.
if you
That's
choose,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's
if you
10.
choose. Oh, and I forgot I was supposed to give you guys stress. So Sandy, you get 1 point of stress for the situation that's happening.
And
Sana,
I get a point of stress.
you would stay cool because of the nature of what's happening.
Okay.
But since you failed, now you get to push if you want to. If
I'd
you
like to
push,
push.
you get to re-roll, but now you have to re-roll with 1 more dice. That's going to be a stress dice.
Okay, let me make a new color for that one real quick. Let's see.
Did you code your own dice roller?
No.
Huh. I know, it
I'm
sounds
not
like you
that
did. I don't know. It
talented.
sounds cool.
Hang on.
Okay.
No, I have my stress dice now. I did not though. I wish I was that cool. I am not. So, all right, going to roll again. Stop. There we go. It's like they're having them stack on top of each other. Hang
You could
on.
just
Sorry, that's
roll the regular and then just roll 1 more
that's
dice
a
and
good
say that's
call.
your stress dice.
That's a good call. All right, so whee! Is everyone on the ground now? They're like, this is a shitty roller, apparently. They're like having them like stand on their sides. I'm sorry.
Damn it.
Hang on. Let me take a few off. Let me take a few off.
I can always roll for you.
I mean, actually, I'm okay with that while I'm doing
Okay.
this, because you seem to be rolling better.
10
Oh, wait, no,
dice?
no. I take it back. I take it back.
Okay.
I think I can do this. So let's see. All right, so that's 2 sixes, and then I'm rolling 5
Then,
at a time. 2 more sixes, and
dear God.
then let me do my
Then,
stress die.
as long as it's not a 1, you're going to be okay.
It is a 5.
Okay, you're fine. So with 4, geez, that's a high roll. 4 sixes for the medical aid. The stunts for the medical aid are usually for recovering health, most of them. However, we can also give you similar ones to what we do with kind of like the Comtech in this situation. Like, you can do this quick. I will allow you to give you a +1 to your medical A roll later if you'd like. And you have 3 stunts to do since you have a success and then you have 3 stunts.
Well,
So you can do a lot of things.
I have some ideas. So
Okay.
1 would be me stabilizing her, correct?
Yes, just 1. It's just success is enough to get her stable.
All right. 2, I would like to reach over to what is his name again? Let me look.
Which one?
Derek? Is that the guy who brought her in who was freaking out? Derek
Oh,
O'Malley?
Derek's outside.
Derek O'Malley?
We're not gonna name the person who brought her
No,
in
it was
was Sweetman.
Sweet. Okay. Then I will hold on to that one. I'm going to hold on to one of them.
Okay.
What are some more possible options?
So you could do a new and unexpected information. You could
I would like that.
do half the time. Okay, yeah. New and unexpected information as you are stabilizing her. You see the mark across her head. You can tell that she was bludgeoned with something.
Okay.
Yes. It
And
looks like from the nature of the wound and everything in your experience, this looks like a bludgeoning wound. Like someone or something hit her very hard with excessive strength across the top of her head.
And okay. All right. All right. And for my last one, can I tell what she was bludgeoned with? Or is that
That's a great question.
That one is hard to tell.
Okay.
It's hard to tell completely. But you do this in record time.
Wait, can I ask a question about that? Can she tell what it's not? Can she say,
What do
I
you
can
mean?
tell that wasn't a hammer. I can tell that wasn't like a
Yes.
man-made piece of metal. It looks...
Yes.
Yeah.
You can tell that it wasn't like It was not
Friend
a
came up
hammer.
behind her and knocked the shit out of her.
If anything, it's similar in nature to like a pipe or a baseball bat, like something cylindrical and long.
Okay, cylindrical and long. So not with edges, but smooth, round, long.
Yeah. It doesn't look like a hammer blow. No, it doesn't look like
Right.
something like that.
But she is going to be okay. Is she conscious?
She is unconscious, and she definitely has, at a minimum, a concussion, but you've managed to staunch the bleeding, and you're able to stabilize her for now. You're probably going to need to keep an eye on her, or at least have the autodoc keep an eye on her.
I'm going to have the autodoc keep an eye on her, and I don't have anything else because a synthetic is a Comtech synthetic. It doesn't have any sort of medical training or anything
No,
like
no.
that.
It's not. The only medical person on this mission is you.
Me. All right, then I'll turn to Sandy and ask, after I've stabilized her, got her together,
Yes.
have her on the Medidoc, have it monitoring her. I'm obviously not leaving her side. What happened?
O'Malley just brought her in, and he had a lot of information. She said to help get her out of the truck. I rushed her on in here. I don't know. So
Did
I
you
can
bring
go.
O'Malley in here?
Yeah, we'll definitely go get some answers.
Well, as you're saying that, outside, we got Mr. Graves, as well as Aleutian. You're probably coming up as it appears that Ramirez is questioning O'Malley. What happened? Where's Mercer? And O'Malley is just like distraught. He's like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was driving. I drove everybody over there. We were in. They followed the lights down to the section they'd been in already, and then 10 minutes passed. I was working on the tractor. It was doing a little bit of stuttering, and Voss just came. She came stumbling up the stairs, bleeding. I couldn't find Mercer. I didn't know where he was. I called for him on the radio. He never answered. I knew she needed to get help. I just left.
You left your teammate. You just left him there. You don't know where he was. You just left him there. You didn't even look for him.
This large man in a panic just looks at you, Aleutian.
I
with,
looked
like,
right back at him, man. I've
Crazed
seen worse.
eyes.
Do we hear
About
this
the time that
commotion?
Sandy walks up.
Well, Mr. Graves is out there currently. This would be why Sandy and Salvatore were dealing with their patient.
Okay.
I got you.
But O'Malley begins to clench his fists. Listen here, you rat fuck. I ain't no fucking coward. I knew this woman was gonna die if I didn't get her here.
Do we hear this? I need to talk to him. Are we able to get to him? Is he like right outside the door? Is he across the way several
this
buildings
conversation
over?
would have been happening outside
While
while
I
you
was
guys were still
saving her.
working.
Okay. Well, let me know when I'm done. I'd like to come outside briefly, not be far from her.
Understood. Mr. Graves, would you like to intervene?
Molly, did you see anything besides hear anything strange?
Nothing, just I don't know, they keep talking about hearing shit down there. I don't know, I've never been. All I do is I watch the tractor.
All right, O'Malley, why don't you,
Gallagher.
sorry.
Goldwell and Gallagher said they heard things as well.
We need to get back. We need to find him.
You're not going anywhere. Give me 1 second. And I'm going to march off to my room
All right,
to get my gear.
Graves
To get my
leaves
gear.
right to get his gear.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to speak to O'Malley. All right, O'Malley, I'm not trying to get you out here. I'm just trying to get some information. He's here. I think the doc is taking care of her right now. Why don't you go in a second? I'm sure the doc will want to get some facts from you. Maybe she's got something to help you calm down a little bit, okay? That's all I'm trying to do is get some information here. Everybody's welfare is my welfare. That's what I care about.
All right. So he's beginning to kind of calm down a little bit, de-stressing slightly. as Salvatore, you walk out to the doorway.
And I understand O'Malley brought her here because Sandy already told me.
Yes.
So I'd like to try my counselor
Okay.
talent
All right.
and just tell him, O'Malley, Sam is going to be fine. You brought her here in just enough time. Thank you. And let me roll. And I got 1 success.
Okay.
So it should bring him down 1 stress level.
Okay. All right.
So it brings it down 1 extra step. For each 6 I roll, their stress level is reduced by 1 extra step.
Yeah.
In
Okay,
addition to
good.
whatever.
Good. He was pretty far up there, but it's getting a little bit
Pretty
lower.
ramped up. And
Okay.
I'm gonna, just put my hand on his shoulder and,
Yeah.
physical touch, human contact. You did a great job.
All right. All right.
Going to be fine. Do you want to go to the mess hall and sit down, get some coffee, take a deep breath?
No. I'm good. I'm good. I gotta drive you guys back out there. Who's coming? As he says that, Ramirez intervenes. It's okay. It's okay. Derek, just calm down for a second. Carter. Carter's kind of behind her. Yes. Did you get the PDT information? And he pulls out a small data pad, which, by the way, all of you do have your own personal data pad synced, so that it is synced with the mother program. It also may or may not be monitored at all times.
Would it be something that close enough that Sandy could use observe over their shoulder and kind of see what they're seeing?
I mean, at some point maybe, but right now he pulls up the PDT data. Yeah, I'm getting a faint reading. It's hard to read through all that rock and the mountain, though. It's showing something over there. It's got to be Mercer. He's the only other one outside of the settlement right now.
All right. Well, is there I don't think you should go back out there. I think you might be best if you just stayed here.
There's no one else to drive. None of you can drive this thing. Is he the only guy?
I can't leave Sam right now. She's not in a condition to be left alone. I need to monitor her.
Boss, I reckon that Drake and me could go out there with him.
I can drive a vehicle. I don't know if I'm comfortable to drive something that big, right? I do have points in piloting. There's not someone else who could do it.
Yeah, there are 2 more Wildcatters that live on base. Charles and Elena Novak. They are currently, let's just call it indisposed on the ship. Outside of communications range.
Yeah.
That's none of my business. Just have condoms.
Sandy would go round him up. O'Malley needs to stay back. He's traumatized.
So, I will say right now, Ramirez, Salvatore, you would know that it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to drive to the off-site in the canyon. Judging from the state of Voss, if Mercer was hurt this badly, if you don't get there,
all right, I'll go
immediately, he will probably not survive.
Since I do not know if O'Malley can be trusted or what actually happened to Samantha, I don't feel out of character. I would not
out of character, Salvatore.
Out of character. I'm not going to be leaving O'Malley.
You have access to a lot of drugs. There are specific drugs that can make somebody super calm.
Talk to me later. I'll tell you.
I don't want to waste them on him, though. I don't want to waste them on anyone.
Well, you don't have to waste them on him. You can allow him to just drive you. Right now, he is your best.
He's coming
pilot.
with us. Okay.
Yeah, like a shot of Thorazine or something like that. Bring him down.
I can give him. I forget what's it called. It's kind of like, it sounds like Tylenol.
It is. Oh, please.
It's supposed to instantly calm people, but too much and they get crazy.
I just had it.
I've got it here in front of me, but Wait,
It
Pulling
is
it out of your
nap
pocket, and I'm gonna be
relief.
like, "How do you have
It's called
that's exactly it.
nap relief.
nap relief?" That's it.
If you administer a nap relief, he will instantly be super calm, chill dude for a
But
while.
will he be able to operate heavy machinery? If I give him more than one, that's when he has trouble. Correct? I think
As
one is
far as you
okay.
know, one should be enough in your
Okay, then
medical experience.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him one.
If you give him more than one dose, it is a -1
Yeah,
dice
it's bad.
on all
Right.
skill rolls. So
Yeah,
until
so
the end of
just
his
just
shift.
give him one.
Yes,
So
that's why I was confirming.
Salvatore, you just kind of like give him a sedative. Then the
Give
nap
him a
relief, you
sedative.
just kind of like
All right,
it's
we've got it,
it's
O'Malley.
self-injecting. You just kind of like press it up to the skin, and it just kind of punctures and
Bringing
administers
my
quickly.
kits.
All right.
Can we? Or who all's coming?
We only got room. I only have room for about 4.
Mm.
One up
All right.
here in the passenger seat, 3 in the back.
I'll get in the passenger seat with you. I need to see on the way up there.
Oh, I'm going.
We
In the
could
back.
use, and then Ramirez basically says, yes, we could use communications for sure, Lucian. They've been spotty out there. Perhaps you could establish something. Miss Salvatore, I'm sorry, you'll be mandatory for this. Mr. Sweetman, and then you see Graves walking up to everybody, fully decked out in his great
Decked out since breakfast.
I got a quick question about that. I actually, since communication gear is like a separate piece of equipment, I don't actually have any personal. Is there something I can grab, like a headset, so I can continue to talk back to the base, or just gonna use
you will have all of you will have like it looks like a shitty 80s walkie that you can put on your hip. You can put on your hip, and then it actually does have an earpiece. Now, Illusions,
be any better.
now all of you will have that, but Illusion, you can have like a more modified version, since you're kind of the communications guy. That you might be able to do a little bit more with yours than everyone else.
How many nap reliefs am I allowed to take with me?
Let's find out.
As many as you want. You're the doctor.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Kangaroo pouch full of sedatives.
It looks like you can have 6.
some too if you need them. I mean, yeah.
Here you.
Don't tell anybody.
You will be 6. Yeah, that's what you can. That's what you'll be able to carry with you.
Okay.
And you bring your medical kit, your surgical kit.
Yes.
You're all kitted out, ready to roll.
Yes.
Sweetman, Graves, and Lucian loading up in the tractor with a very calm and collected O'Malley behind the wheel. And
you're doing a good job. You're doing great, buddy.
A good time for us to take a short break.